Just when you think you've explored all of Edinburgh, you've been up Arthur's Seat, you've looked at the city from above, and maybe you've tried the odd whiskey or two, well, you'd be wrong. This is a walk that gives you the very best of Edinburgh. Along the way, we are going to experience the best sights of Edinburgh, such as the castle, iconic stadiums, its incredible suburbs, then the stunning countryside and coastal trails, and perhaps one of the most famous bridges in the world, which will act as our finish line. This is 10 miles of utter beauty from here in Edinburgh's city centre to all the way out there. In fact, I can see the finish line. Let's get moving. There's not many hikes in the world where you can see the finish line from the start, which makes Calton Hill a perfect place to begin. And once you're ready to get going, just drop back down to Princes Street and begin to start heading west. This is a stretch to enjoy the hustle and bustle of the city, with the sound of bagpipes at every corner as you pass the Balmoral and head towards the Scott Monument. Make sure you walk along Princes Street Gardens as opposed to Princes Street itself. As you can see, it's just much more enjoyable. And you get brilliant views of Edinburgh Castle and of course small bagpipes. Just don't be distracted. There is a 10-mile walk ahead, don't forget. Keep heading west through Princes Street Gardens and the West End, and then eventually you'll get to Haymarket. And once you see the tram station, just walk along the platform and then follow the road and the tram lines down to the left. And then you'll find yourself by the railway lines. And that's good news if you like your transport, because there's plenty more to come on this adventure. There's planes to come and an iconic railway bridge to finish. Oh, I do love this walk. Walk for another 5 minutes or so through these apartment blocks, keeping the tram lines and the railway lines on your left. And any second now, this walk begins properly. So once you've walked along the tram lines and the railway lines for a couple of minutes, you get here to the start point of the Roseburn Path. Murrayfield Stadium over there, a nice iconic sporting venue to get us going on this adventure. Scotland's biggest stadium, in fact. Leaving Murrayfield behind to your left, you'll follow the Roseburn Path, otherwise known as cycle route number 1. And quickly, some of Edinburgh's other iconic sights come into view. There is talk that Edinburgh Council are thinking of changing this glorious footpath and cycle path to become a tram line and add an extra tram line into the city. There's much controversy about that for obvious reasons. I've just been on this path for 15 minutes or so and multiple cyclists have passed me, plenty of walkers out too. It would be a real shame to lose this, an incredible adventure in the capital of Scotland. I mean, how can you get rid of this? If you live in Edinburgh, comment below on what your thoughts are on the potential plans to change this into a tram line. I prefer to cycle home from work on this any day of the week. So whether you live in the city or you're visiting, make sure you enjoy this walk and soak up the Roseburn Path along the way. After about 20 minutes of walking along the Roseburn Path, you'll get to the Blackhall path, and it's that you have to follow for this, the next stage of the adventure. Only 7 miles to go. This will be over in a flash. You'll follow the Blackhall path for around 20 minutes or so. The first sighting of a plane is possible, plenty more to come. And when you get to this bridge, just bear left. And almost 3 miles done, which means we are roughly a third of the way through this adventure in Edinburgh. And it's a good point this, because there's a chance to stop, take a pause and have a quick snack. This is handy to know if you're staying in a hotel in Edinburgh and don't have the facilities to cook your own snacks for along the route.
Don't forget to scan.
With this walk being a good 10 miles, you will need to refuel. There's also a handy coffee shop as well. Right, quick snack taken in. So when you leave the car park of the supermarket, you need to cross this road here to continue. And we keep following the cycle path number 1. The cycle path number 1 signs will take you up Barnton Avenue to begin with, and then just keep following the cycle path number 1 signs through one of Edinburgh's most sought after areas to live. This is a rather nice area of Edinburgh, wonderful to walk through and just admire the houses. This is Cramond. The path now takes you through Bruntsfield Golf Club. That's what I love about this walk in Edinburgh. You pretty much see everything. You see Edinburgh Castle at the start, Murrayfield Stadium as well. It's gorgeous houses, golf courses, country estates, and when we get to the end, something rather magical, especially when the weather is like this. Yeah, so Bruntsfield on this side, on your right hand side as you walk it, Golf Club, and then on the left, Royal Burgess Golf Club. Beautiful, have a look at this. Oh, the trees just frame this so well, and that bunker there looks like Augusta at this time of the year. Once you've walked through the golf courses, you'll carry on, yep, you guessed it, following cycle path number 1, through a few more houses, and then you'll get to this main road and the world's biggest hedge I have ever seen in my life. Right, so once you've crossed over this White House Road, the main road, it used to be the old ring road of Edinburgh actually, you can see the old city gates there. Once you've crossed over that road, you need to follow along to Bray Park Road and down this hill. And just a little further along, you'll reach one of the most picturesque moments of this walk. Cramond Brig. This pretty much represents halfway on this walk, and it's taken me about an hour and a half to get here. Best get a move on if I want to reach my final destination whilst the sun's still up. Note, you are now joining cycle path number 76. So as we say goodbye to the city of Edinburgh on this adventure, we now say hello and welcome to this, the glorious Dalmeny Estate. And it's this country estate and coastal path all the way to the finish line. If you're visiting Edinburgh and you don't visit Dalmeny Estate, you're missing out. I told you planes were part of this adventure. We are right underneath the flight path for Edinburgh International Airport. Trams, trains, planes, I've got it all for you. Even without the planes, this is one of the most spectacular walks you can do when visiting the capital of Scotland. I have to say, this walk I absolutely adore. I call Edinburgh home actually. I make sure I do this walk at least once a month or so. And because life gets busy, and if you follow my channels, you'll know I've just launched a podcast, the Planet Playground podcast, speaking to those who have travelled the world through sport and adventure all their lives. And starting a podcast from scratch on your own, you know, takes a bit of time, takes a bit of hard work, takes dedication, commitment and all of that. And sometimes when you just need to take a breather, I'd come on this walk. My fiance showed me this walk a few years ago, and ever since I do it regularly. It is such a beautiful spot. It really is. And still, the great thing about this walk is the finish line is something I really look forward to every single time. Not because I want to rush everything that you pass along this adventure, but because it is one of the most iconic settings in the UK. And when you get there, the pint, the refreshing drink, oh, it's such a lovely reward. And it is quite a sight on a day like this. So as you get to the end of that big long stretch of track there, you've got a choice to make. You can either turn left here, which is actually that cycle route 76. That goes along there and then sort of weaves its way around, or you can carry on towards the coast, towards the water's edge, and this will take you down and then a left along the coast. I prefer this way.
Whichever route you choose, you'll end up at Dalmeny House, but the coastal way provides you with a little more variety from forest walks and coastal trails, all whilst following the John Muir Way.
As you get to the water's edge, just before it, you'll take a left along this. It's like a single track, and essentially it just follows the coast to your right. And yeah, if the tide's out, you can probably walk along the beach. Just look at some of the views you get along this stretch of path. Beautiful. Over there, Bomboogle Castle. Looks incredible from here. Can't yet see the finish line though. Gotta keep moving on.
Just a little further along and you'll cross this bridge, helping you over this stream, leading into the Firth of Forth.
And just like that, out of the forests and back out into the open air. And what wonderful air it is tonight. On my right, the coastline looking spectacular this evening, and on my left, another golf course. What did you expect? Dalmeny Estate Golf Club. What a setting this is. And only to add to my joy, another plane taking off. Honestly, I absolutely adore this walk. It is just brilliant. You get everything, absolutely everything.
And as you walk along the golf course with the Firth of Forth on your right, to your left, Dalmeny House will come into view.
Home of an Earl, it's currently undergoing a restoration project and will soon be back to its sparkling best. Once you've crossed over the golf course there, you're back on this, the main track, cycle path 76, and you follow this all the way to the finish line. Right, 8 miles in, just a couple to go now. Look, I found some friends. Hiya, mate. Lovely evening, isn't it? You walking as well? Oh, you're gorgeous. Don't forget to say subscribe. Yeah, thanks. Peeking through the trees here, I can see the finish line of this glorious adventure in Edinburgh. And there is a reason why I'm doing this today, mid-July, on a clear day, and making sure I finish around 7 o'clock in the evening. Oh, it does look stunning. The Forth Bridge, a fitting end to a brilliant adventure. But we're not quite finished yet.
And that's because on a day like this, you want to park up at one of the many bars and restaurants along the coastline in Queensferry, grab yourself a drink and wait for the sun to set to give you the most magnificent viewing hour you can ever hope for.
If you live in Edinburgh like me, or you're visiting, then please make sure you do this walk. It is such a perfect way to witness so many of Edinburgh's qualities. And that, to finish it all off, wonderful.
And if you're wondering how to get home to Edinburgh, well, all you have to do is walk around the back of the Hawes Inn, following the signs for Dalmeny Station, climb these stairs as one final challenge, and then just follow the track to the train station, catching one of the regular trains back to Edinburgh. And as one final treat on a walk that gives you so much in the world of transport, the train, of course, passes right underneath Edinburgh Airport's runway. Thanks so much for watching this video. Next week, I'm heading north to the Highlands of Scotland to soak up one of its best cities and football matches. You can watch much more videos right here, including, of course, the Planet Playground podcast. Thanks for watching.